Stop repeating yourself, stop nagging, and get people actually following the instructions. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how. Hello, my name is Jenefer. I'm the founder of Silk Helix, and we help small businesses with all things HR, employment law, people management. So let's work out how we're going to get people following instructions. The first thing to look at is your culture. Why is this happening? Are you just repeating yourself and people are just doing what they want to do anyway and nothing actually changes? If that's the case, then you need to break that cycle. We need to find a way to put a stop to that, to make it really clear why these instructions are there and get people actually following them and actually listening and taking it seriously. Key to breaking the cycle is asking people why. Why are they not doing what it is that you're asking them to do? That's not the question, why are you not listening to me? They've probably listened, they've probably heard, they're still not doing it. So why are they not doing this thing? What are the blocks in place? Is it that they see it as pointless admin? Do they forget to do it? Is it not understood how to do it? What are the reasons? Because that why is going to be absolutely crucial to being able to solve this. If we can understand why people are not doing what you're asking them to do, then we can work out how we fix this and how we get them doing that in future, how we remove those blocks. Once you've got the why, you need to look at how you're going to remove the blocks that are in place. Chances are one of the things that's going to be there is that people just don't understand why it's important, why you're asking them to do this thing. Why are they being nagged for it? They feel like they're being nagged because they're not valuing what it is that you're asking them to do. So one of the first things is that we need to make sure that we communicate exactly why this is important. Why, as a business, are you even bothering with this thing? And if you can't answer that, then you do really need to ask the question, should you be nagging people to do this? Is this really something you want them to be doing? And if it is really important, then you should be able to clearly articulate to them exactly why it's important. Once you've explained why, take action to really support this being done. So if this thing is really important, if it's part of your expectations, make that really clear. Make it part of your expectations. If you're monitoring performance, if you're counting what they're achieving, if whatever it is that you're using to be able to measure and feed back to people, this thing needs to be a part of that. Whatever it is that they are not listening to you on, whatever it is that they are not doing, you need to make that part of your expectations. Make that really clear and put in place anything you can to support that. So if people are simply forgetting, put posters up, put reminders on the office wall, wherever it needs to be in people's faces. Make sure that at your one-to-one meetings, when you're reviewing performance, you're looking at, well, has this thing been done? And if not, why not? Making sure that you've really got that as part of the conversation so that it's not becoming just something you're nagging about. It's something that's actually, this is how we are monitoring and measuring your performance. If you are not doing this, then it's considered that you're not performing. And if it's still not being done, then don't be afraid to have a consequence. Yes, this is important to the business. Yes, you know why it's important. Yes, you've communicated why it's important and you've put in place everything you can to remove blocks and help them to do this. What you now need is for it to be important to them. Now, for some people, they will be motivated by understanding the importance to the business. For other people, they will be motivated by knowing that there's a consequence to them of them not doing this. And if it's that important to the business, you can't be afraid of having a consequence. I've dealt with clients where there's some of these things that are not being done may look like just paperwork, but actually they're crucial health and safety things. They're crucial evidence should an insurance claim come in. The cost to the business of this not being done is absolutely huge. But to the individuals, it's just admin and they're not really getting it because that cost, that risk of an insurance claim, that risk of a client being injured is not theirs. It's not something that weighs on their head. It's something that the business owner thinks about because it's more likely to impact the business overall than that person individually. So we need to have a consequence that that person individually is aware of. Now, if it's that serious a matter that this could really impact the future of the business and be a major cost to the business, then the consequence would be very reasonable to be as part of the disciplinary procedure. Potentially even a dismissal, because this thing is important. You as a business owner can't afford to lose your business over somebody who's refusing to follow the right processes. So don't be afraid of that disciplinary procedure. And I think there are a lot of small business owners who are, and I don't blame you. It can be scary. It can also be scary to potentially lose somebody who is good at other things, and where actually it's difficult to recruit, it's difficult to replace people. The reality is that very often we don't end up losing people. Once people realise there is a consequence, this thing is that important that you are going to put this marker in the ground to say that if you don't do it, there is going to be a consequence to this, and that could well be disciplinary action. It could even be dismissal. Generally at that point, people do just get on and do it, and you don't need any more than that. But don't be afraid of the disciplinary procedure. I've got other videos that go into more detail about disciplinary procedure, how you can do that. I'd also recommend my digital course on disciplinary and grievance procedures so that you fully understand the process and what you've got available to you as a tool, because when you've got that, when you know you've got that, and you know you've got that to fall back on, it makes all the other bits much easier. I find that very often when I'm talking to clients, they just continue nagging because they don't see that there's another option. They don't see that there's something that they can step up to do, or a way that they can change to make this thing happen. So they just keep repeating the nagging and hope eventually it's going to happen. It won't. If you're repeating yourself, if you're nagging, and I don't particularly like that word, but that's where it gets to when we're in this kind of to and fro where we keep saying something and somebody's not listening to us. We have to change. We can't make them change. We can't make somebody else do something. We have to look at how we change in order to be able to achieve what it is that we need for the business. And as I say, that is understanding what we need, why we need it, what blocks might be in place so that we can remove them, supporting people to achieve it, and if they're not, at that point we need to look at a consequence. If you are finding yourself in a situation where you're dealing with employees who just aren't doing what you need them to be doing, I've put contact details in the description below. Do get in touch and we can help you with your specific situation. In the meantime, if you found this video useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss a single one.